Hey, hello everyone, and welcome once again to another Analytics Masterclass. It's going to be a great one, as we all know, because for those of us that this is not the first time you're joining us, this is not the first time you are joining the Analytics session. You know that every session is what I like to call a banger. Okay, so we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have an amazing time. Of course, we just started, so the numbers are definitely gonna grow. We're gonna have more people join us, and we're gonna be exploring a whole lot of things. We're gonna take a look at the story. Okay, there's gonna be Tales by Moonlight today, and we know Tales by Moonlight, where you start with story, then you end with story. Once upon a time. We're gonna tell a story. Okay, who knows? When was the last time you listened to a story? Probably you can't even remember. Okay, so we're gonna tell a story, and we're gonna have fun, of course. We are also going to take a look at what process mapping actually means, taking a look at the nitty-gritties of what it takes to be a business analyst. We are going to identify the different areas, all of the tools, everything that you need to learn to be a business analyst, and how you can get into this. Because of course, I'm sure that that is a career path that you are looking to get into as well. Okay, so before we begin, of course, like I mentioned, the numbers are gonna grow. So let's just take things a bit slow. So before we begin, I would like to just hear from us. I would like to hear from us, okay? And the way we can do that is using the chat box. So you can just send a comment to the chat box. Tell me where you're from, that's your location, and your name and your location. Okay, that's what I would like to know. So we have understand the people joining us and your location, and we ensure that the session is tailored for you. Okay, so please go ahead and I would like to meet you. So just send your name and where you're joining us from. Just send that to the chat box and then we begin. Okay, so I'd like to hear from us, and everyone needs to speak because all of the things I've mentioned, the fact that we're going to have fun, the fact that we're going to tell the story, for all of this to be the case, we have to communicate. And how can you communicate? By sending your responses, your questions to the chat box. Okay, so we have Simi Olua. We have Simi Olua, and Simi Olua is joining us from Coventry in the UK. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, I need more responses. Adewale, where are you joining us from? Everyone needs to speak. Cindy, iPhone. Okay, iPhone with a bracket of 5. That's a special iPhone. And Card, Michael, Maria, Victoria, where you joining us from? Okay, so just send your comment to the chat box. So we have Cindy from DC. We have Adewale from the United Kingdom, from the UK. Okay, absolutely fantastic. And we also have Ugochukwu from the UK as well. Great. So we don't waste time. Let's just get into it. See what we have to, what we're going to be taking a look at. Okay. And don't forget, communication is key. We are going to need to communicate a whole lot. So we can, number one, have fun. So we can, number two, learn about business analysis. And so we can, which is most important, get to listen to the story, which is the Tales by Moonlight. Okay. So we get to listen to that as well. So it's very, very important that we communicate. Send your feedback, send your questions, send all of that to the chat box. Moving on. What we are here to take a look at, what we are here to do. Of course, we've seen the flyers. There's a reason why we joined the session. We're here to understand how the process map can be utilized as a business analyst. We're going to see using a case study, of course, we're going to take a practical approach. So today is not only going to be about talk, and some of more talk. Yeah, we're going to talk, but we are going to be more invested in the practical aspects of things. Taking a look at process maps. What is a process map? How can you use a process map to map out the current process of an organization or the future process, which is known as the Accees or the TOBE? Okay, let's take a look at gap analysis. We're going to explore all of those things. We're going to work with tools such as Draw.io, explore some other tools, all of that. Today's session is going to be packed, fun-filled, and amazing. And we'll wrap all of this up in just a little into 2 hours. Okay, so stay with me. But for those of us that this is the first time you're probably joining the analytics session, of course, you might be wondering, who is analytics? What is analytics? We'll get there. But like I said, the session is going to be divided into 3 segments or into 3 different sections. Okay, so the session will be divided into three different sections. Okay, of course, we have the process mapping that's taking a look at the case study and process mapping. We're going to understand the technical and employability skills for you to get a job. And of course, our upcoming courses are going to begin in April 5th. But before we go into what analytics is about, I would like to wish all of the amazing women out there happy International Women's Day. So it's still your month, okay? It's still your month. I know we have women on the call, so happy International Women's Day to you. You are amazing, okay? So yeah, Synalytics, what do we do? What are we about? Synalytics is an edtech firm, and what we do is that we make dreams come true, like I love to say. We are Santa Claus. You know Santa Claus? Santa. What does Santa do? Santa gives presents to kids. Santa give presents to kids, make their dreams come true. So maybe a kid wants to get a sleigh, or maybe they want to get a PS5 or whatever the case may be. So Santa will go ahead and provide all of those gifts if they're actually in the nice list, of course. So we are Santa and we make your dreams come true. And what I mean by that is you're looking to transition, you want to get into that career of your dreams. There are things that you've been looking to achieve. You want to move into a career where you can get where you can see growth, you can see progression. You want to transition into tech. All of those things are things that you want to do. All of those things are things that you would like to do, that you would like to achieve. And so what we do is that we help move you from where you are at the moment into where you want to be. And we have programs from business analysis to data analytics to financial analytics to HR analytics, AI engineering, cybersecurity, data science, HR analytics, financial analytics, Agile and Scrum for project management as well. All of those programs, and of course, our facilitators are for the Fortune 500 companies, so you know that you are in good hands. One of the reasons why we started Analytics is that we took a look at the current climb. Okay, we took a look at the current climb, and we noticed that not so many persons of the Black community, okay, are actually in tech. Yeah, when you take a look at other careers as term survivor jobs, oh, then you see a lot of Black persons, you see a lot of people from the African descent. But when you take it, but you don't really see people of the Black community in the tech industry, right? Yeah, you see other races like the Asians and all of that, but then we don't see so many Black persons. Hence the reason why we decided that, okay, why don't we have a platform where we can help make your dream come true, like I mentioned earlier. So that's about Analytics. That is what we do. If you don't remember anything, just know that we'll make your dreams come true. But about me, because someone has been blabbing for a while. You've been listening to this guy speak so for a while now, and you're probably thinking, can we get into the session already? Yeah, we will. Okay, but about me, I'm Aisha Sagmulahor, as you can see from the name tag at the bottom left, and I'm the lead in charge of training and operations at Analytics. I have experience ranging from data analytics to business analysis, which of course is the reason why we are here, to power platform engineering, predictive AI engineering as well. And I've been able to work across organizations from the US to the UK to Canada to Singapore and also Nigeria. And I've also been able to train over 2,500 professionals across 4 continents. But all of these things are just the mundane things about me. These things are ordinary. Probably the next guy by the left or the next guy by the right has also been able to do these things as well. There are some more unique things and even more amazing things about me, which we'll get to see and we'll get to hear down the line. Number one is I can read minds. Okay, I can read minds. So I'm going to read your minds in the session today. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to read your minds in the session today. So stay tuned. Okay, just follow me. And there's still some other exciting things, not just those mundane professional things. But yeah, that's about me. And of course, we also have a fantastic professional in our midst. I'm talking about Vera Fred Aaron. So Vera is a senior business analyst with 7 years of diverse experience, ranging from different sectors, from business analysis to AI strategy and financial technology as well. She's the lead business analyst stroke AI strategy manager at Deloitte and also Touche Nigeria. And she has lots and lots and lots of experience. She's going to take us through everything it means to be a business analyst in terms of the case study, in terms of the process mapping. And then I will come in to tell us about our story. and I will begin with story, and I'm sure all you guys would respond story. And then when I say once upon a time, what will you say? Okay, once upon a time. What's gonna be the next one? I need a response. If we're not, remember I talked about communication, that we all need to communicate. Okay, so we all need to communicate so we have fun today. It's very, very important. So story, you say story, and then once upon a time, you say what? Time. Thank you very much, Ugochukwu. Time. Thank you, Oluwaseun. Talking else. I need more responses. Okay, Nki, what about you? What's the next thing after once upon a time? Oh, were you never told stories? Is that the case? Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna have an amazing time. So stay tuned, and yeah, so I'm gonna hand over to Vera now. Hello, Vera.
Hi, Sosa. Hi, everyone. Good to have you guys on the call.
Fantastic. Yeah, good to have you too, Vera. Can you turn on your camera so I can spotlight you?
Sure. Yes, right about now. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. All right. So shoot, I'll say.
All right. So we're just gonna get right into it. Okay. Can you help me with the slides? Uh,
Okay. Sure,
yes.
sure. I
So
can
I
do
can
that.
just read from them. All right. So we're going to look at a case study on how to just really buttress the use of process map. And I'm going to start by saying this. Every organization has a problem they are trying to solve. One of the very good ways that you would be able to spot out what the real issue is by leveraging on process mapping, as a tool. So we're going to just get into what we have to do today. A technology company offering website hosting solution experiences frequent server outages, resulting in website downtime for our customers. Frustrated customers are threatening to switch to competitors due to the prolonged resolution time. Currently, the current process involves customers sending an email which is attended to by technical support staff, who in turn commences troubleshooting until resolution is achieved. Now, if you look at the current process step that I've just mentioned, you would agree with me that you may not be able to clearly pinpoint what the issues are. I'm going to share my screen right now so that I can, visualize what this process step looks like, and then you can see the beauty of what process map can, do. All right, so sharing my screen. Okay. So I'm going to use this tool, draw.io is a Google app that you can use for your process modeling. I'm going to just use that to buttress the benefit of process map. So now just getting right into it, I'm just going to pull up a container so that I can just fit in my process map here. Okay, I'm just going to drag this here. Okay, so based on the brief that I just looked at, we can just call this current process website downtime, because we can just call this. Now, getting right into it, I'm just going to start by just dragging this here, and I'm starting the process here. The first thing that really happens with this process is that the customer notices that there is a downtime. So here we have customer notices the downtime, the website downtime. So what I'm doing is that I'm trying to just, clearly articulate what the process look like as at today. Once he notices that the customer sends an email to the technology company. Okay. So the next that happens is the technologies company technical support staff checks email randomly for inquiry, complaint, and whatnot, right? So once this is done, the next that happens here would be that starts to troubleshoot the issue. So the support staff troubleshoots the issue. Two things can happen is either the support staff can solve it or not. So we can just bring in our decision box to say, issue resolved. If the issue has been resolved, technical support staff emails the customer. And of course, so this is if there's a yes. And if no, the technical support staff just escalates to relevant department. Okay, so of course, once if the issue has been resolved, then the technical support, staff gets an email. Apologies. The next thing that happens here is that we're just going to end the process at here. Customer is happy, and then we can just call it a day, right? So now I'm just going to show you how we can use this to really troubleshoot what is going on. Business analyst, you are supposed to be an agent of change. So when there is an issue, you are that person that should recommend solution that would, that can get the organization to where they want to get to. Now, I've been able to come up with a process map for this particular case study. How then do I use process map to, make life easy or better for this organization? Now, if we come to the very first step, we're looking at this. Customer notices the website downtime. Now, as a business analyst, one of the things that you are supposed to do is that at this process step, you're really asking question. Are there other means that we can get this done? What exactly is the issue here? The next thing that happens here is sends an email. How do we have to depend on emails for our customers to, sending their issues? What can we do here? How can we improve this? Customers are complaining that it takes a long time for us to resolve issue. So we are looking at process step 1 and 2, and I can already see that this is a bottleneck. The technical support guy literally checks the email randomly. So he doesn't have like an automated way of getting this, issue. So one of the things that I'm already thinking about, how do we make our customers happy? How do we even prevent customer from sending this website, sending the email that speaks about the website downtime? What exactly can we do here? One of the things that we can deploy here is that we can have an automated, monitoring. So I have 100 customers. Rather than wait for them to come tell me there's an issue, I can monitor how things are, faring with them, using certain, technology. And then it brings us back to here. Even when we want to say, okay, we have automated system, checkmating what is going on. What if our customers want to reach out to us? We cannot depend on emails because there's a very high possibility that you can miss out on certain emails. How about us using a request management portal where we'd have tickets, being, created once you log into our portal, things like this. So this is really going to give you, a broader view as to what is going on, what are the problems. So at every step, at each of the process step, you're looking and asking questions. But if you just have a process, if you just have the process documented and you cannot visually represent it, it might be difficult for you to look at things at each level. Remember that I said that customer notices the website downtime. I'm already saying, why should the customer be noticing? Why can't we have a system that can even prompt us when our customer's website is down? Customers here, they are sending an email. Rather than send an email that is a bit, manual, how do we even track when we even solve this issue? How do we really track that resolution has been granted? We need a request management portal that would allow our customers, send in their complaints, and whatnot. Then we move on to the next. So we go to the technical support. At the technical support point, okay, we had already mentioned this. The next thing is that the technical support team troubleshoots the issues. So here, this is also another pain point. The technical support staff literally has to troubleshoot manually. I'm looking at this process and I'm saying that this is also one of the reasons why we are having prolonged resolution time, because one human being is going to literally try everything he knows how to do best. How about we, looking at this process step and coming up with an automated way of resolving our server issue? So you'd agree with me that using a process map would give you a broader picture as to how the process moves from one point to the next, and can help you, think through or come up with, ways on how you can solve the process issues step by step. Of course, we move on to the next issue resolved. If the issue has been resolved, two things can happen. Is either you can resolve the issue or you escalate to relevant department. Now, in terms of the feedback, remember that human beings will be human beings. Someone has to go back and send an email. How about we, on this ticketing support system, someone just going there to just indicate that it has been resolved, and customer will get an automated response saying that this has been done. Nobody really needs to sit down and start drafting another email. All of this can literally be avoided and can get our customer to a point where they are excited. So I hope that you would be able to use process mapping when you are carrying out your business analysis work or your process improvement activity. Thank you. Esosa, you can just go ahead. Hi, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you very much, Vera. Thank you very much. So, Vera's taking us through everything about process mapping, really. Just a bit, okay? We are also going to take a look at an in-depth analysis into this just in a few minutes, okay? What we've just taken a look at is how to identify the current process, okay? Mapping out the current process using what? Using draw.io. And after mapping out the current process using draw.io, you also have the future state. Remember, she talked about how at the moment our customers are sending in their complaints, and it's very, very manual. So they're sending emails and it's difficult to track such things. So how can we make things better? Now, at the moment, we are using manual methods. How can we now identify something? How can we now decide that, oh, this is what we should do in terms of making things better, in terms of making things automatic? That is what we call gap analysis, trying to identify how you can take an organization from point A and taking them to what? To point B. Okay, how you can take them from point A down to point B. So that's it. Vera, do you want to stop sharing, please, so I can share my screen? Okay, so just give a moment.
Stop sharing already.
Okay, I can still see your screen. I think I'll just give me a moment. I think I should be able to
Can you
undo
still see
that
it?
from my end. Okay, yeah. So we're good now. We're good now. So I was saying the tool we just used is draw.io, and we just had a snippet. Okay. So in addition to gap analysis, in addition to process mapping, there are other things that you need to also, add. I talked about gap analysis. So it's with gap analysis that you'll be able to say that this is what we are doing at the moment, and this is what we need to do. Where after mapping out the current state using draw.io, you then map out the future state using what? Using draw.io as well. And in process mapping, there are certain things, there are different areas, and certain things that you take a look at. For example, all of the shapes. I'm sure we saw when Vera used the diamond shape. We used the diamond shape. We had the cycle, we had the square. All of these things are things we'll take a look at. And let me just give you a snippet. So the diamond shape is used when you're trying to make a decision. Okay, it is when you're trying to make a decision. So at the moment, let's say you are currently at a crossroad. So just like what we had, a customer had a complaint. Then we have a question. What kind of complaints does the customer have? Okay, what kind of complaint does the customer have? I'm just gonna use my pen. Okay, so again, a customer has a complaint. So what kind of complaint does the customer have? Over here, where we have the customer having the complaint, that's where we have customer have a complaint. On Jolt.io, it would be in the stats, which is that cycle. And then moving to, just give me a moment. I think I should be able to pull up something real quick. Okay, just give me a moment. Trying to just give me 2 minutes. Trying to pull up Jolt.io. So I just show you something. Okay. All right. So I was saying on just take this off. So I was saying on Jolt.io, you have different shapes and you have different shapes that tell you different about different things. You have the cycle or over. You know, some persons call it over, but I think this is actually your over, but yeah, your cycle. You have the cycle, which is actually used in determining that this is the start point and this is the end point. Okay, that this is the start point of the entire process, and this is the end point of the entire process. So for the start point, we could say stats. So we type in stats, and sometimes just type in stats. Sometimes you can just go ahead and insert, okay, customer has a complaint. Okay, so we have the stats. We could place that here. And then what next do we have? We have the customer having a complaint. So with the customer having a complaint, would have a directional connector, okay, an arrow. So an arrow determines that, oh, after you move from this point, you move to the next point. So I'm going to use this. Okay, so I'll just connect that here, and we have something like this. So start. And then the next thing, what's the next thing? The next thing would be, oh, the customer has a complaint. Remember, we're taking a look at the process, okay? So the customer has a complaint. From there, we move into a rectangle, and we'd say, or type in. So to type in using Jolt.io, to type on the shape, you can just double click, okay? So you double click on the shape and you start typing. So I would say customer. Okay, so customer makes a complaint. So customer makes a complaint. That's the start of the process. Customer makes a complaint. That's the start of the process. And then what's the next thing? The customer, after customer makes a complaint, let's say the next process is, what kind of complaint does the customer have? Remember, what we are doing again, we're just taking on the example. So Vera should also set an example earlier. So we're just taking on the example. So what we are doing right now is, when a customer has a problem, what do we do from point A to point Z of solving that customer's problem, or point Z if you're from France? Okay, so what do we do? Customer has a complaint. That's the first thing. Then the next thing is what? Let's say they send an email, just like what we had previously. So they send an email. An email is also an action point. And so because it's an action, I would still be working with a square. I'll still be working with a square since it's an action. So I would come in here. I need my direction again, because that's my my direction. That tells me the next part I'm moving to. So I have this, and then I would insert another rectangle. And then let's say customer sends an email. Customer sends an email. Customer has a complaint. Customer goes ahead to send an email. Now that the customer has sent an email, we receive that email. And then we have to identify what kind of problem does the customer have. Is the customer having a problem relating to the product? Is the customer having a problem relating to the goods? Is the customer having a problem relating to the mode of payment? Or maybe there's a general problem relating to the website. There are different problems, but at the end of the day, they are all problems. So we need to decide, oh, what kind of problem is this? So now comes a question diamond, okay? Where we can move to the left, we can move to the right, whatever decision. So I can come in here and insert my diamond shape. So I need my my connector again. So I need my connector, and then I'll come in here. Okay, just give me a moment. So I'll come in here, and then I would insert my diamond. So where can I get? Okay, yeah, it is. I insert my diamond. So my diamond, now I'm going to say, because it's a question point, okay, it's a place where I need to decide what happens. I can go ahead and say, what's, okay, what kind of complaints? What kind of complaints? So I could increase this a bit. What kind of complaints? Let's assume there are two different types of complaints that can be made. Two different types of complaints. Let's say you can either complain about the product or you can complain about the mode of payments. Maybe you tried making payments, it didn't go through, or the product did not satisfy you. So we could have another direction. Okay, another, and there's an easier way to do this. Okay, there's actually an easier way to do this. Something you can also do is you can select whatever shape. So in this point, the next thing is going to be an action. So I can click on this and it's insert a rectangle for me. So I'm going to come over to this line and I'll just double click on the line so I can write in the text. And this text would be, let's say, um, product complaints. Okay, I could write product complaint, or better still, another way we could do this to make this easier, we could come over here and say, instead of what kind of complaints, we could say, is it a product complaint? Is it a product complaint? So we can either have, yes, it's a product complaint, or no, it's not a product complaint. So over here, I can come in here and type in, yes, yes. Okay, just move this to the side, yes. And then if it's a product complaint, what does the employee now do? The employee, let's say the employee contacts the product line. The employee contacts the product line. Follow me now. The employee contacts the product line. Yes. But what about if it's a no? What about if it's a no? Then we'd have something else in here. And then this would be for no. Remember, a process map shows you the direction of things. Everything that needs to happen from point A to everything that needs to happen from point A to point Z. That's what it shows you. So over here, I can say no. Okay. So I said no. kind of have two texts. I'm trying to take off this other text. Why do I have okay, I think I'm just gonna take that off and insert a new connector. So stay with me. I would insert a new connector. No, great. So this looks perfect. So if it's not a product complaint, that means it's going to be a payment complaint. Okay. So over here we could say employee contacts maybe the sales team, contact sales team to tell them, oh, there's a problem. So we have employee, if it's a sales, if it's a if it's not a product complaint, they send the message over to the sales team. But if it's a product complaint, they contact the product line. So we don't take this far because these can go on and on and on and on and on and on. The next thing we're going to do, let's assume that there are situations where the product line is not available. Let's just assume that there are situations where the product line is not available. So I need to make another decision. A decision like, is the product line available? Yes or no? Is the product line available? Yes or no? So tell me, what shape do you think I would need to use? I need to make a decision. What shape do you think I will need to use? Is it a circle, a diamond, or a rectangle for a decision? Okay, so now I'm at a point where I need to make another decision. What shape should I use? Diamond. So Simi follower says diamond. What about the rest of us? What do you think I should use? I need responses now, okay? I need responses. At the start of the session, I talked about communication, and it's very, very important that we all communicate. Ade, what shape do you think I should use? Okay, thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Mari. Thank you, Luasheng. I need more responses. We're over 30 on the call, and just like 4 persons are responding. So what's the problem? Cindy, what shape do you think I should use? Do we understand? Okay, do we understand? So Damilola says diamond. Thank you very much, Damilola. Okay, what about you, Ahere, Afemi, Dami? Yeah, I've got Femi, Ifeanyi, Labake. Okay, thank you very much. So Albert says diamond, Abiona says diamond. Yes, exactly, diamond. And why diamond? Because we are at a point where we need to make a decision. So I'm going to come over here and then I would select a diamond. Okay, I'll come over here and I'll select a diamond. And then I would say, is the product, is the line available? So let's say, is the line available? Is the line available? Then we can have yes and no. So, oh, that's a very, very unique way of spelling available. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a correction to that. Okay, so is the line available? We can also have these two decisions. Note, it's not necessary that you must only have two decisions when you are at a point of making a decision. Sometimes you could have two, you could have three, depending on the situation. So over here, I'm gonna say, so this would be for no. No. Is the line available? No. And then let's say escalate. 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 And then after escalating, then we end. That's the end of the process after the escalation. But if the line, if the line is available, what do we have? It's not that. Okay, so we can say the product line, the product line, the product line fixes the issue, fixes the issue. And then after the issue has been fixed, what next? We have end. So you can see in a process map, you can have multiple endpoints depending on how the situation goes. And we're not even done. Remember, we also had a decision over here. So employee contact sales team. In this case, let's assume that the sales team is always available, okay? That's, oh yeah, they're going to fix the issue. So we can have another end point over here. And so if I take this a bit, if I was to zoom this out a bit, so you can see what we have. Now I can go ahead, sometimes in a process map, you could go ahead to just use color inflections to show points where you started and points where you ended. So over here, I can make this green because green is usually the symbol for good. So I could make this green by coming over to, I could make this green by coming over to, sorry. Just look like myself. Okay, so I can make this green by coming over to the right-hand side where I have my style, my text, and select green. I can do that way, or I can come over here and I would also see my color palette from where I can choose, okay? So I have start, and then for this, I can go with red, red, and red. So that's what I have. So with this, I've been able to map out the current state. This is only the current state, because after we've been able to analyze the gap, then we can go ahead to what? To come up with the future state. The current state is talking about how you're doing things at the moment. Because as a business analyst, one thing that you have to do is to help the organization achieve its goals. So you join the company where they were at point A. One of your tasks is to ensure that they get to point B. And the way that you can do that is by analyzing current processes, identifying bottlenecks, fixing those bottlenecks, and presenting a future state that you think should be implemented. So at the moment, you can see that there are a lot of manual things being done. At the moment, a customer that has a complaint has to go ahead to first of all make a complaint. They send an email. Then there has to be you have to check the email manually. Is it a product complaint? If not, you send it over to the sales team. If it's a product complaint, you send it over. If it's a product complaint, you send it over to the product line, and then you have to check is the product line available or they're not available. All of those things. So after mapping out this current state, you send this over to the stakeholders, and you have the presentation telling them that this is what I noticed, this is what I saw, this is what I think we should do. And then after that, and you've been able to map out the current state, and then you go ahead to analyze the gap, then you decide that, okay, instead of having a customer send us complaints via emails, why don't we have customers send us their complaints via an automated system? Why don't we have some sort of chat bot that answers most of the questions that these people ask, or that fixes most of the problems that the customers have? Those kind of things are things you start thinking about that would make the organization more efficient and more effective, and of course also more productive. So after determining that this is what we think you should do, this is what I think we should do, to go ahead to now map out a process just like this. But this time it's now going to show you the new process that is not yet being used by the organization. Take notes. Before any company changes the way they do things, they have to first map this out Okay, so this new process, what it's like a funnel. If you're familiar with marketing, you would have heard of a sales funnel. Like, what's the first point of contact with the customer to when the customer eventually buys? That is what we're taking a look at right now. The funnel. What is the situation that can happen from point A to point B? Where are those points that, okay, the customer can diverge or this can happen? All of those things. So after determining the future state, you then go ahead to map out the process. Like I said, you present that your new process to the stakeholders. They take a look at it. Okay, so you are saying we should get a website, and that if we get a website, the customers will be able to go to this point on the website, and then they move to this point on the website, and then they make a decision on all of those things. And then after that has been done, if it's approved, then you're now going to starting the project, where you start looking into your project initiation planning, building documents such as the BROD, which is the business requirement document, which contains the new process, the objectives, all of those things that you are looking to achieve. So this is just a snippet as to what process mapping is all about. It's a whole lot more than this. Remember, there are different shapes. Okay, the two most used shapes, there are still some other shapes that are depending on. You have shapes that connect a process map to another process map, because sometimes the process of the organization can be so large that you cannot you cannot do everything in one process map. For example, let's assume that after you escalate, it then moves you to another process entirely. So that means that this time we're not going to use a rectangle. There's another shape that you use for that. Okay, so it's also like a rectangle, but it has like stripes. So you use that, and then that means that, oh, once I get to this point, instead of engine, I should trace it down to another process entirely, and then that is where the process will continue from. It's like a porter. All right, so we know porters from fantasy movies. That's when you go to the porter, you you get in Atlanta, and then you come out in New York. Okay, so as you get in Atlanta, you come you are out in different in other cities. Okay, for example, let's say you I think that everyone should understand that. It's like a porter, all right? Instead of it's like a means of transportation that takes you somewhere else entirely. So if you're in Washington, you go through the porter, it takes you to what Atlanta, it takes you to Georgia, whatever the case may be. Okay, and or maybe you're in Coventry, it takes you to London, those kind of stuff. So that is what this particular shape will do for you. It's like it's moving you from one porter without transport, so you don't need to pay plane fees, you don't need to purchase a plane ticket, but it takes you over to that other process where you start taking a look at, oh, so it has taken me to this process map, then you start following it again. So like I said, it shows all of the processes, everything that the organization does from point A to point Z. Most organizations have a process. Sorry, scratch that. I'll rephrase. Every organization has a process. And it is very, very important that as a business analyst, you know how to identify process and how to map them out, because it's a very, very useful skill for you. And when it comes to process mapping, there are so many tools you can work with, not just draw.io. You can also work with tools like your Microsoft Visio. You can work with your Lucid Chat. Those are other tools. So depending on the organization, Draw.io is the most popular one anyways, because it's free and it's something that you can work with. So I want you guys to practice this. For those of us that might not have been able to follow, don't worry. My colleague has been sending in the feedback for the attendance to the chat box. So ensure you fill that form so you get access to the record, the materials, everything for you to be able to practice along, so you also get that skill needed to be a business analyst. But I've been talking about business analysis for a while now, and you might be wondering, okay, so I should say, yeah, business analysis seems interesting. Disclaimer, okay, disclaimer. We've only just taken a look at one aspect of business analysis. There's a whole lot that a business analyst does, and we're going to take a look at all of that in the session today. We've just taken a look at one tiny, incy, teeny bit. Okay, that's just all we've done, which is process mapping, but there are others. But who is a business analyst? What does it mean to be a business analyst? I should say, I've been hearing about business analysis, business analysis, business analysis over and over and over and over and over again. But is it not a saturated field? Because my friend last week said that they would like to be a business analyst. Okay, my friend last week said they would like to be a business analyst. 2 years ago, I knew another friend that said they would want to be a business analyst. Oh, Aisha, sir, I can tell you for a fact that this week alone, 2 of my family members, 2 of my friends, and 5 of my other colleagues, they've all said that they're going to be a business analyst this week. Okay, so if everyone is trying to get into the field, doesn't that mean I should not get into the field? Because that means it's what? The O word. I like to call it the O word. That means it's what? This is a word everyone likes to use. Okay, I call it personally the O word. And what is that? Oh, I say that means that business analysis is over saturated. The big O. This the big O. All right. So we call it over saturated. Every one of us, you've probably thought that as well. Even though you've thought about this before, you've had this thought is just flashed to your mind. Are you sure business analysis is not overrated? I'm sorry, not it's not oversaturated. Okay. So I wanted to even though this thought has crossed your mind before, I want you to send a yes to the chat box. Okay. And if it hasn't, send a no. Okay, send a yes to the chat box if you know you've thought about this before. And if not, send a no to the chat box. I would like to know. I would like to know because oversaturated it's something that flies everywhere. Everyone is always thinking, oh, this part is oversaturated. Or is it? Is it not? Is it? Is it not? So Ade says no, which is a fantastic one. Great work, Ade. More responses. Do I have to beg for us to respond? Because I will beg. Okay, so Simis Oluwa says no as well. Okay, fantastic. More responses, more responses. Okay, I need to know. I need to know. Have you ever thought that business analysis is oversaturated, or it's saturated? It's a saturated industry. Oh, so it seems the no's have it. So Mary also says no as well, which is great. Okay, fantastic. Olufemi says yes. Olufemi, it's okay. Okay, it's okay that you think that way because so many people think that way as well. So Mary says no, many industries are looking for business analysts. Mary seems to have done a little bit of a dive, as you know, probably just done some research, yeah, and some research there to understand if business analysis is actually in vogue or not. Damilola says a bit, not yet. So Damilola is of the opinion that, I should say very soon, I'm going to think that it's oversaturated or it's saturated. But right now, I'm focused on that thing. So I'm going to say not yet because I've not had the time to really go in depth in business analysis, which is fine as well. So I'm glad that the majority of us on the call, we don't have that mindset that business analysis is saturated or it's an industry that has so many people going in. And due to that, I don't think there are so many opportunities in there. I'm glad we have that thought because like I said, or as I am about to say, business analysis is not saturated. Not to even talk of being oversaturated. And I will tell you the reason why. I love to tell reasons. I love facts. I love facts. I love telling facts, okay? Not just, oh, my opinion. I have an opinion. Yes, my opinion is at least 90% right most of the times, okay? But today we are also going to deal on facts. And the one of the things that we always take a look at, because when we decided that, okay, business analysis should be one of the programs at analytics, there was a whole lot that went into that, from us scraping the web to analyzing the data to taking a look at career paths that fall under 3 major areas, which is ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and rewarding salary. And 8 career paths fell under this. Business analysis was also one of them, seeing that it was easy for you to learn, it was easy to transition into due to the numerous opportunities and due to the fact that you don't need to have some sort of background for you to be able to transition into that particular field, and also high reward and salary. Who doesn't love the Benjamins? So yeah, that's also a important part because I believe that getting your wants is equally as important as getting your needs. So we did all of that research and we came across business analysis, but we also wanted some sort of external validation. We also wanted to uh, listen to someone else speak that does not have a direct relationship with analytics. And that is how we came across the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum releases a report called the Future of Job Report every 2 years. The latest report was released a couple of months ago, which was in January, and it showed the roles that were going to increase with time and those that will decrease. The jobs by the right, the roles. I think I'm gonna get. Okay, so the roles by the right are roles that are going to increase, and the ones by the left are those that are likely going to decrease. Pardon my writing. So over the left, on the left, you see you have numerous roles. You have roles like the big data scientists, the fintech engineers, the AI and machine learning specialists. You have roles like the data analysts and scientists and the data engineers. But what we are interested in, the reason why we're here is business analysis. That's why when you also take a look at this, you see you have the process automation specialist. The process automation specialist is actually a business analyst role. Remember, what have we taken a look at today? We took a look at process mapping, how to map out business processes. And now, as a business analyst, you also get to work in roles titled process automation specialist. You finding ways that they could automate the business processes by, of course, mapping things out and then going ahead to launch that particular project. This is just one of the roles that you can function in as a business analyst. And according to the World Economic Forum, this particular job role, that's business analysis, is also going to increase with time in the next 5 years, as you can see. So you can see that the projected job creation in blue and the displacement in purple between 2025 and 2030. So the blue is representing the amount of jobs that will be created in addition to the number of jobs we have right now. And then the purple or pink, yeah, it's called purple. It's purple. The purple is representing the amount of jobs that will be lost. So what we are seeing for business analysis is that there are going to be a lot of jobs created and no jobs are going to be lost. But I thought they mentioned that we will have new tools like AI that's going to come in and replace so many people and going to do this, do that. That's what many people get wrong. Because yes, we are in the world of AI. Every organization has AI now. You have Microsoft with Copilot, you have Google with Gemini, you have Twitter or X as it's called with Grok. You have Cloud AI. You have Microsoft with Copilot. I think I've mentioned that. You have Meta AI. Okay, you have so many, and you also have Oluko, which is analytics AI as well. We also have our very own AI model because yeah, we are in the world of AI, and so you need AI. So we also have Oluko. So you have so many AI models. You have so many AI out there. Now you even have DeepSeek. All of that. And so, yes, we're in the time of AI, but AI is not going to be replacing business analyst roles. No, but rather, what is going to happen is that business analysts that do not know how to use AI will be replaced by those that can. I repeat, business analysts that cannot use AI will be replaced by those that can. So how do you learn AI? Don't worry, we get into that, but just understand that that's fact. Business analysts that cannot use AI will be replaced by those that can. So AI is not coming to replace the people, actually, in business analysis at least. So this is what the World Economic Forum is saying in terms of the number of roles available for a business analyst. Something that we can also do. Let's just carry out a quick experiment. I love experiments a lot. Okay, like I said, it's all about facts today. So let's carry out a quick experiment. Let's go on a job site like read.co.uk. Okay, let's go on read.co.uk and check for the number of roles that were uploaded today. Okay, the number of business analyst roles that were uploaded today. So let's go on read.co.uk. Okay, so so we're on read.co.uk. Let's take a look at this real quick. So we want to see the number of opportunities available for business analysts. And I'm going to search for business analyst. Business analyst. And I'll go ahead to search. So first of all, and I'm just going to take a look at one job site. I know for those in Canada, for those of us in the US, we'll be saying, oh, okay, let's also take a look at some other job sites for other areas. Okay, if we have the time later, we'll do that. But let's see. So we have 3,453 jobs available right now. But I'm actually interested in the jobs that were uploaded today. So let's see. Now, I'm coming over to the filter. I'm going to filter this. So we have so many business analyst roles, right? I'm going to come over here and filter. So for date posted, only today we had 152 rows uploaded just today. 152 rows uploaded just today. Just today. There's not, oh, rows uploaded like maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Just today. Now, what does this tell you? First of all, what does this tell you? First of all, this tells you that you can go ahead to apply to as many jobs as possible, and you know for a fact that those jobs are available. Because you don't want to go ahead applying to jobs that you don't want to go to ahead applying to jobs that were open, let's say maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, because you don't know if someone has actually taken that role, and that just maybe the recruiter forgot to close down the job application, but maybe someone else already taken that role. But for all of the roles, as you can see, uploaded 8 hours ago, 9 hours ago, you see the one that uploaded an hour, 3 minutes ago, you know for a fact, you know for certain that those roles are open. And come to think about it, how many jobs can you actually apply to in a day? Because of course you want to ensure that your CV is tailored to the job description of every role, right? So in a day, let's say you decide that every day I'm going to apply to 20 or 25 roles every day. More than enough roles, because when you come to the site tomorrow, you would see that over 100 job roles will still have been uploaded. And note, we've just taken a look at only one job site, just one. And I didn't even go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very popular one. This read.co.uk, just one. And we've seen a number of jobs available. This just to, and this is real-time data. You can do this as well, okay? If you're on your PC, just take a look at this quickly. So this is real-time data. This is showing you that these roles are actually in very, very high demand. There's no business right now that I think that there's no business that doesn't need a business analyst. It's over in the name, business analyst. So this is a great career path if it's something that you're looking to go into. And we've just been able to take a look at the numerous opportunities available for a business analyst. But who is a business analyst? Okay, who is a business analyst? Who is a business analyst? There's something that we need to know. Because, oh yeah, we've taken a look at a snippet of what a business analyst does from the area of what? From the area of process mapping that's using Jordan.io. And now we have taken a look at the fact that, yeah, there are actually so many roles available in business analysis. And getting into the career of being a business analyst, looking to transition into business analysis is actually a very, very good prospect. But you have to understand what it means to be a business analyst, because you can't do something that you have no idea about. You don't even know what it is or what they do. So that's very, very important. And that's what we're going to take a look at. Who is a business analyst. So a business analyst, easy, simple, and sweet. Straight to the point. A business analyst is a professional that is the middleman between two key bodies. Middleman between two key bodies. This is the business analyst. I'll call this the BA. Then the business analyst is in the middle, like sandwich. You know, in the sandwich, you have the bread at the top, you have the bread at the bottom, and at the middle, you have your what? You have the sand. That's why it's called a sandwich. So in this case, the sand is the business analyst. In this case, the yeah, in this case, so you have the business analyst being the sand in the middle of the sandwich. And what's the two loaves of bread? You have the two loaves of bread is going to be the non-technical stakeholders. I call this non-C, non-technical stakeholders. And then you have the T, which is the technical stakeholders. So the business analyst is the middleman between these two, um, professionals. And what the business analyst does is, let's say the organization wants to build an application. The company wants to launch a project. They want to build an application, a project, some sort of software. The non-technical stakeholders, in this case, the CEO, the COO, the CFO, all of the C's, the CFR, the CGR, okay, the team leads, the managers, the people in charge, they have the idea that this is the application I would like us to build, or we need to build an application that customers can go ahead to make order from. And then they call the technical stakeholder. In this case, let's say the developer that will come in to help build that application or build that website. Are we following? If you're not here with me, send ice cream to the chat box. If you're not here with me, send ice cream. Okay? Ice cream. Send ice cream to the chat box. I just want to know we're following. Okay, thank you very much, Sibi Oluwa. So ice cream. I need ice cream. I need ice cream. I need to see ice cream on the chat box. Don't ask me why I decided to go with ice cream, because yeah, you might be wondering if I said so. If I said Zobo. So it seems if it's not with me, I don't know. But yeah, ice cream. That's actually why I decided to go with ice cream. Maybe I love ice cream. I could even see some of us and starting emojis, which is a great one. Yeah, so we'll go into why I said we should send ice cream. Okay, I'll tell you the reason why I love ice cream. Okay, I'll tell you later. But yeah. Okay, just join with ice cream. That's a good one. So, yeah, good to know that we're following. So the business analyst is that middleman between the non-technical stakeholders and the technical stakeholders. And then the non-technical stakeholders say, let's build an app. Everyone likes an app. Let's build an app. Or let's build a website. They have the idea of what they would like to build, but they need to call the developer in this case, like a master team really. That's the developer, the UI UX designer, all of those things. So they need to have a master team. They contact this individuals, they place them on a contract to build this application. Everything is going smoothly. But the fact that they want to build an application, the fact that a website needs to be built, that is not enough for information for the developer. The business analyst needs to now be able to be at the middle, because the developer needs certain things. They need to know what are the brand colors of the organization? What should the application contain? What kind of payments gateway should we work with? What kind of, are there certain laws that need to be adhered to? For example, if you're in the US, what kind of data protection laws do I need to adhere to? What should the application sing and dance whenever a customer makes a purchase? All of these things needs to be clarified. All of these things need to be known by the developer for them to build an application that really connects with the non-technical stakeholder's dream, in this case, the CEO. But those information, to get the information from these guys and transfer over to these guys, then you need a business analyst. The business analyst would hold meetings called the requirement gathering, the stakeholder meetings, right? Requirements meetings, requirements gathering meetings, using skills like your elicitation, all of that to gather requirements from the stakeholders. After the stakeholder analysis, of course, using skills such as your RACI matrix, which is understanding the stakeholders that need to be that's the RACI, where our so the RACI matrix. So what does R stand for again? Okay, so R is escaping me now. That's we have the RACI, RA, that's A, accountable, C, consulted, I, informed, R is responsible. Thank you. So the RACI matrix, where you have the the RACI, RACI. Okay, the RACI matrix. So where the business analysts identify the stakeholders that need to be responsible, the stakeholders that need to be accountable, those that need to be consulted, and also those that need to be informed. All of those things need to come into play. And then after all of that, then they go ahead to gather their requirements from meetings. Now, after the requirements have been gathered, they've been able to understand what the stakeholders would like the application to do, what the application should contain. Those requirements will now be converted into what we call acceptance criteria, okay, written down as user stories in some cases, and then would form the acceptance criteria that the developer would work with in building the application. So the acceptance criteria could contain application needs to be yellow, application needs to do this. So the developer is using that as a guide to know each and everything that needs to be in that application. That is still one of the things a business analyst does. A business analyst initiates a project. A business analyst is that person that will identify the gap, like I said, gap analysis, identifying where the company is and where they need to be, and finding a way to bridge that chasm. A business analyst is, I love to refer to them as the engine of an organization, but some other people would not agree. Some other carriers would say, oh no, we are the engines, we are the engines. But I like to see the business analyst as engines of an organization. A business analyst would be in several meetings because you're going to speak with lots and lots of individuals. A business analyst has to ensure that whatever the project needs to achieve, that the project actually achieves that. A business analyst goes ahead to work on documents such as the SRS, which is the software requirement specification for when a software project is being worked on, working with guidelines such as the SDLC, which is referred to as the software development lifecycle, which guides you on everything you need to do when you're working on a project. So these are some of the things that a business analyst does. That is who a business analyst is. Please note, business analysis should not be confused as business analytics. There is a difference between business analysis and business analytics. There's a difference between business analysis and business analytics. Business analytics is actually referring to data analytics. So business analysis is actually equal to data analytics. It's a synonym. When you hear someone being called, oh, I'm a business analyst in business analytics, they're actually referring to themselves as a data analyst. That's a data analyst that focuses on business data. Business analysis is a whole lot more, it's a whole lot different. This is a business analytics, and then this is business analysis. Business analysis is everything I've been explaining about being that middleman between stakeholders, ensuring the organization is achieving its goals, all of that. So this is something I thought to chip in because this is a very, very common misconception. Everything I've said so far can be summarized into certain things. Number one being that a business analyst bridges the gap between stakeholders. A business analyst analyzes business needs. A business analyst analyzes business processes. And of course, a business analyst ensures that the product struck the process meets the business objectives. All of those things make up the business analyst. All of those things makes you a business analyst. Moving on. This is another example of the process map that we talked about earlier. And this time, we can see the current state and we can also see the future state. In this case, the current state is in this state, the current state is actually referring to, like I mentioned earlier, what we are doing at the moment. So you can see for a customer to make an order, they have to what? They have to go ahead to, and it's not only customers. I know we've been using customers, and process mapping is all customers. No. So this is the most easy to understand example. They can be as simple as customers to be as complex as how a product is being produced. Like how do we develop this phone? Oh, first and first, we need to go to China to order these, and then we need to bring the parts, and then we need to do this, all of this kind of stuff. So it can be as simple as complex as required. So you can see the customer makes the order by calling. This everything we went through when the staff man writes down the order, scans through the notebook, all of those things. And then after we are done with that, you can now see the future state, which is what the business analyst is saying. Why don't we go with this? Where we have the customer, first of all, ordering online. And then after ordering online, that we have an order management system that will be built that a customer can go ahead to make orders from. So after the customer orders online, we have an order management system that will receive the order and automatically update the inventory and also automatically generate the order details instead of having a staff manually write down the order. And then the staff would have to check if that item is still available. And then the staff would have to go print out the order details. And then the staff would have to go check the store if the item is still in the store. Because the fact that the item is available does not mean it's in the store. The item is available, yes, because we sell that item. But the item might not be in the store because the item has been sold out. And then they have to pick up the item. They have to prepare the shipping labels. That's where the item is going to be delivered to. Call a courier. And then, of course, the courier eventually comes up to pick the item. But with this new state, we have another management system that will go ahead to receive the order, automatically update the inventory, will automatically generate the order details, and all of this will be happening at the same time. And then we'll go ahead to generate the shipping labels, send the staff to pick up the item. That's the same management system. And then as soon as it's sending a message to the staff to go pick up the item, it's also sending a message to a courier to come over to the office to pick up the item and to get that delivered to the customer. So all of those things would then shrink the order time, because as a business that specializes in delivery, you want to ensure your order time is as minimal as possible, because reduced order time leads to more customers. People will prefer a courier service that will get their item delivered right now. If you can even make it get it delivered in the next 2 minutes, even perfect. So yeah, this is another example of a process state. And of course, all of this will be mapped out using draw.io. And one other great thing as a business analyst is that there are several areas you can work in. Okay, there's several areas you can work in. You don't only get to work as a business analyst. You can work as a business analyst, as a process automation specialist, as we saw earlier. You can work as a business data analyst. You can work as a requirement analyst, a systems analyst. So many roles. So that means that when you're applying to jobs, you don't just apply to only jobs titled business analysis or we need a business analyst, because there are other roles that you can function in. When looking to apply to jobs, what your focus should be on is the job description. Because then you see that, oh, these are skills I actually have, and these are roles I can function in. But what do you need to learn as a business analyst to become a business analyst? You're looking to get into the career path. What do you need to learn? What do you need to know? What you need to learn, you begin with your Excel, Power BI, and SQL. But yeah, I thought you mentioned business analysis is not data analytics. Yes, I did. Excel, Power BI, and SQL is something you learn to give you that flavor of data analytics. Remember, I talked about ice cream. Okay, let's say you want to go get ice cream for your kid or for yourself. It's most likely going to be for your kids. I learned a long time ago that adults don't have fun. Okay, so yeah, please ensure you have fun. Very, very important. Ensure you have fun. When was the last time you had fun? You probably can't remember. I'm not asking for the last time you took your kids to the park, because when you take your kids out, you're no longer having fun. You are parenting, because then you have to watch them, ensure they're not doing something they should not be doing. So when was the last time you took yourself out? You probably can't remember. So take yourself out today. Just do something nice. It doesn't have to be expensive. Instead of getting one, maybe something you do is that you get one hot dog or one taco, get two. That's if you're into tacos, of course. So yeah, anyways, so just like when you want to go buy ice cream and you ask for, oh, I would love a flavor, the vendor to ask, what flavor would you like? And you're like, oh, I love vanilla. I would like vanilla. And I would also love a scoop. I would love a scoop of vanilla and an extra scoop of chocolate. So you take a scoop of vanilla and you take an extra scoop of chocolate. So you have vanilla with a flavor of chocolate. And then maybe you can ask for some matches for some toppings. Maybe you're into waffles, whatever it is you're into. So, as a business analyst, something that we've understood is that recruiters are now looking for business analysts that have a flavor of data analytics. So that's the reason why you begin with your Excel, your Power BI, and your SQL. So it's not really that you're going to go in depth, understand as the data analyst would do. No, but you'll be able to use the skills in analyzing some data to also be carrying to also be able to carry out some data functions. Then you have also learned your process mapping, which we've talked about earlier, and we also took a glimpse at. Then of course your project initiation planning, where your racing matrix comes in, your BROD, like I mentioned earlier. Then you also learn your agile scrum for projects, because as a business analyst, you'll be working in agile teams, or rather in agile teams. Apologies. So it's actually agile, not agile. I find myself saying agile a lot. So you work in agile teams. And so you need to understand how to work with agile tools such as your Jira, your Trello, all of those, and how you can function in an agile environment as a business analyst. Your SDLC, your requirement fundamentals, your elicitation, your stakeholder analysis and engagement, and don't forget your ChatGPT for business analysis. Because I mentioned earlier that as a business analyst, you want to ensure that you have AI skills to increase your productivity and making you more efficient. So you don't end up being replaced by people that can actually use AI. So everything I've mentioned so far can be summarized into that's the tools you'll be learning. Your Excel, SQL, Power BI, like I mentioned. You have your Lucid Chat, your Joe.io. Joe.io is what we took a look at today. Then your Jira, your Confluence, your Trello, and of course your Azure DevOps. Your Azure DevOps. So you also get to learn how to work with Azure as well. And the average salary of a business analyst, as you can see, is the average salary of a business analyst, it differs on your location. For those in the UK, so the average salary, and don't forget, average means that you're going to have people that earn above this, and you have people that earn slightly below this. So for those in the UK, the average pay is 52,000 pounds, and then in Canada, it's 74,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it's $85,000. So fantastic, if you ask me. And it falls under all of the different benchmarks against everything. Talking about maybe you need to get a visa. You need to get a skilled worker visa. There's a certain bandwidth. There's a certain point you need to get to in terms of your salary, and of course, being able to get not just your needs but also your wants, like I said earlier. And of course, the learning time. This is something that the learning time is something that I'm sure you're also wondering. So the way you learn is that you learn on Saturdays. Okay, every other Saturday you have a class, and then for those Saturdays where you don't have classes, you have the self-paced watch me do it videos. Okay, you have the self-paced watch me do it videos, because at Analytics we use a hybrid system. We use a hybrid system when it comes to learning. So you have the live classes where you get to join a class, you speak with a facilitator, you work on projects, just like we are doing right now. You ask questions, you gain experience, all of those amazing things. And then later on, you also have the Watch Me Do It videos on the Analytics LMS. Analytics LMS is a platform that you will get access to as soon as you are registered. And I would also show you what it looks like. Don't worry. So in there, you have all of the videos that you watch that would introduce you to concepts that you'll be learning in the next class. So in the next class, you work on even more projects based on what you learned in the video. So it doesn't get better than that, because it doesn't matter the kind of learner you are. If you're a slow learner that prefer going back over and over and over and over on videos, no problem, you're good to go. Or if you're someone that prefers speaking with people, prefer asking questions, you like that human touch, no problem, you are good to go as well. And the timing of the classes for those in Europe, in the UK, and of course in the African region as well. So classes is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. UK time, and of course West African time. And for those in North America, that's if you're in Canada, you're in the US, the timing for the classes is to 11 a.m. now. So 11 a.m. So of course we daylight savings is over. So it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sorry, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So this was due to previous daylight savings, which correlates to 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. And the learning timeline is 8 months. Of course, we have two timelines, that's the 8 months and the 12 months but program. But for this particular month, we have the 8 months program, and this is due to something very, very exciting, which I will tell you in due time, okay? Because of course, is the month of it's the Women's Month, International Women's Month, okay? So there's something exciting which I'm going to tell you very, very soon. But you have the 8 months plan where you get to learn in class for 6 months, and you have a 2 months internship. So 6 months of learning and then 2 months internship. You learn for 6 months and then you intern for 2 months. And one fantastic thing about the internship is that while you learn with analytics, you get to intern with Amdari. Amdari is a fantastic organization registered in Canada and also registered in the UK as well. So you get to be interning with Amdari. And what that will do for you is that when you need a reference, it doesn't get better than that, because you can get a reference from Data Analytics, or you can get a reference from Amdari, which is great. Okay, which is great, like I mentioned. So yeah, so you learn with analytics and then you intern with Amdari. There's so many people that have been able to make that switch. Sometimes we hear things and we're like, oh yeah, I get it. I hear you. Yeah, it's easy. People transition, but really, what would make my case be different? What would make me be able to transition into this particular path? Is it really possible? Are there people that were previously in my shoes that have been able to transition? And the answer is yes, a resounding yes. We've been able to help so many people, close to 2,000 individuals, that we've been able to help transition from the classroom to getting their first job in tech. And these are the people that we know of, because yeah, there are participants that get jobs and they don't tell us. And so from so many people that we've been able to help, from Ikmat that we help transition from being a stay-at-home mom in the UK to getting a job as a data analyst with the NHS in the UK, to Ramat that we were able to help get a job as a business architect after completing the business analysis program, also with the NHS in the UK. And of course, we all know that the NHS offers full visa sponsorship. That's for those of us looking to get visa sponsorship roles, right? And also Tony, to so many individuals, to Lois that we help to transition to get a job as a project manager after completing the business analysis program. Which also we helped her get a job in the UK. To Ngozi. Ngozi had a customer service background. That's the background she had. For some of us, we don't have any background when it comes to business analysis, and we feel, okay, is this not going to be an obstacle when I'm looking to transition? Is this not going to be a problem for me? The answer is no. Ungazi currently works remotely from Huddersfield in the UK as a business analyst after she completed her business analysis program. And Ungazi's story is a fantastic one. Ungazi's goal was always to get a remote job. And you can see Ungazi from here in a workstation, just working with her headset and smiling. So you can get access to all of these testimonials on our YouTube page, or follow us on Instagram. Okay. So, and of course, please ensure you fill the form, right? Ensure you fill the attendance form so you get access to the slide. So you can always just click on the link and listen to these people tell you about their story, how they were able to transition, and how you can do that and do so as well. One other thing one other thing I would like to say is that for some of us, we feel okay, yeah, at the moment I'm currently just trying to survive, just doing survivor jobs. Currently, I'm a care worker, I'm warehouse operative, different stories, and you feel, is it not going to, that's not going to be an obstacle for me to transition? The answer is no. We've also been able to help Abigail, and this is just one of them. There are so many people who've been able to transition to moving into that career of their dreams. Like I said, we are Santa. Okay, so we've been able to help Abigail as well. Abigail joined our program, the business analysis program. Abigail's stories, before she joined, she reached out to us to schedule a session, just a personal session, because she had lots of questions. She told us about the story that okay, she's currently working in care and she doesn't want to do this anymore, and that she wants to transition. And what do we think is the right path for her, seeing that she has no experience? So she spoke to us and we guided her that okay, based on what you can do, based on the skills that you have, and based on your interests, we think the business analysis program will be the right fit for you. So Abigail went ahead to join our business analysis program, and she eventually got a job as a business analyst with the government of Alberta in Canada. It doesn't get better than that. To Busola, that would also help transition, getting a job as a performance analyst in Desjardins, Canada as well. Okay, so many people that we've been able to help. If I could place every testimonial on our slides, I will. From Follett that we helped get a job as a business analyst with the government of British Columbia in Canada, to Bukola that we helped get a job as a people's data scientist in Poland. Of course, that's talking about the data science program. So many, so many, so many, and we've even had sessions where we brought in these people to come speak to us on how they were able to transition. So we've had these sessions, and we had a session like this just yesterday. Some Tenetics alumni joined the call, told us about their story, how they transitioned, how they moved from point A into doing amazing things now in their current roles. So you can always listen to the sessions, to some of the sessions, and listen to their stories, because something I've come to realize is that stories have a great way of impacting us in terms of ensuring that, oh, these are people that have been able to do what I'm looking to do. And that means that I can also be able to transition as well. Okay, so yeah, so many people that we've been able to help. And of course, our goal is always to see ways that we can make that it is our goal is always to see ways that we can help you achieve your dreams. And that's one of the reasons why we are always looking at ways that we can upskill. And the reason why we were accepted in the Alberta Catalyzer program, which we completed sometime at the start of this year. So what the Alberta Catalyzer program helped us do is to find ways that we could upskill and how we can scale to ensure that we reach even more people and that we help people, especially people of the Black community, help them land their dream tech roles. Okay, so yeah, so this is some of the things that we're doing. Always looking for ways to make your dreams come true. That is what drives us. That is our goal. And we are also accredited with the American Council of Training and Development. So you know that whatever training you're going to be getting is absolutely top notch because, of course, due to the kind of training and everything that the services we offer, we've been accredited with the ACTD. And when you get your certificate is going to be coming with the ACTD logo. So you know that the certificate is very, very highly recognized. Okay, so, but what will really get you that job? I've spoken a lot about business analysis. I've spoke a whole lot about business analysis. I've said so many things. But what we get to a job isn't just learning the skills, because you might be wondering, or you might be asking, I used to say I have a friend that claimed he was a business analyst or learned business analysis 2 years ago. Until now, he has no job in tech. So, where will I get a job? It's a question that plagues most of us. But I tell you that the reason why most people that claim to be business analysts have not been able to get jobs is because they don't understand the job equation. For you to get a job, you need to complete the equation. It's not just one part. It's the T plus E. That's what will get you the job. The T being the technical skills, which are the skills that you need, which are the skills that you do utilize in, which are the skills you need, the skills you utilize in the job. That's talking about the tools you work with, talking about the things you know, talking about everything that you're going to do. That's from Excel to Power BI to Azure, everything we took a look at. And that's a given. You're going to get those skills. That's very sure. But what we call success at analytics, what we call done, what we call our success metric, is when you've been able to transition and get a job. And we are very, very much successful, if you know what I mean. That shows you the amount of people who've been able to help transition. And the reason for that is we don't just provide you with just the technical skills. We also understand that for you to get a job, you need the other 50%, which is referring to the employability skills. So the T plus E get to the job. That's why as much as we are focused on the technical skills, we are also equally focused on the employability skills. Hence the reason why you'll be getting other things. You'll be getting other packages from, of course, first thing, your CV review and revamped. Your CV will be reviewed and will be revamped because the CV is the gateway to everything relating to getting the job. Some persons go ahead to apply to jobs. They think they apply to jobs, but the thing is, they really did not apply to any job. What do I mean by that? Take this example. You want to apply to a job, you go on LinkedIn, for instance, and then you take a look at the job description, you get your CV, you upload your CV, and you hit send. You feel like, I've applied for this job, okay, so I applied today. In the next week or 2 weeks from now, I'm going to get a call back for an interview. Because I know that, okay, you know what, maybe 2 weeks is a stretch. The recruiters has to spend time with the family. So let's say 2 weeks and a half. 2 weeks and a half, I'm going to be called for an interview. You wait and wait and wait, and you're never called. And you feel like the recruiter did not like your CV, or the recruiter did not like you or something. When the situation is, you never really applied. Now, what do I mean by that? Because of course you hit send on the job board. When you apply to jobs, for some people, as soon as they hit send, the ATS, that's the applicant tracking system, is also hitting delete. Because at the end of the day, the CVs that the ATS would present to the recruiter, yours would not be a part of it because the ATS does not think that you are fit for that role. That means that you were not ever in the running because the CVs that were presented to the recruiter, those are the CVs that will be taken a look at to consider to even call for an interview or not. So if your CV did not scale through the ATS, you were never in the running. That's why people apply to 200 jobs, 500 jobs, 1,000 jobs, 2,000 jobs, and never get even a single interview. So we help ensure that your CV is what? We help ensure that your CV is great, that your CV is well tailored, that your CV is ATS passing, and we also show you how you can work on your CV for when you're applying to different jobs. Because the thing is, when you're applying to different jobs, you want to ensure that your CV is tailored to every job description. So we'll help you out with all of that. And then, of course, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the gateway to, I call LinkedIn personally, the Facebook of professionals. On LinkedIn, there are so many recruiters on LinkedIn that are looking for people to employ. I know for one that I've recruited so many individuals from LinkedIn because when I'm working with different organizations, so let's say I'm working with an organization and I have a project I need to complete. Okay, for example, some months ago, sometime last year, I was given a project to work on my company, and due to the fact that I had so many things I was doing at that time, I needed to amass a team to ensure that we delivered that project as it went due. So what I did was I went on LinkedIn and I searched for um a particular job role. So I was looking to amass a team of different professionals. So I went on LinkedIn and I searched for that job role. A bunch of profiles popped up. And then there were certain things that drew me to your profile. I did not just click on every profile. There are certain things that drew me to your profile. So, and for example, number one is your profile picture. LinkedIn is not Instagram, so you don't want to post a picture where you are posing like this, or probably are eating rice, or you're posing like this, or you're doing like this. All of those unique poses. Okay, you don't want to do that. So you want to keep your put picture a professional headshot, nice, crisp and clean. So those are some of the things that attracted me to a profile. So once I click on the profile, I take a look at the experience, the features, that all of the things that the person has posted, the skills, and if I think this person is actually okay, has the skills to do the job, I then send a message. With my LinkedIn account, I can send a message to anyone. I send a message over and I tell them, okay, this is the job. I explain the job description, give them a job description, ask if they're interested, they can send me their CV. For those interested, they send me their CV, I take a look, and then we go ahead to schedule an interview. So after the interview, they pass through, we work on the project. It's usually on a contract basis, a month or two till the project is delivered. I pay them handsomely, and then we are done. So that's just one of the things. And there are also people that recruit for you to become full-time employees. So LinkedIn is a great place. And also, LinkedIn is so important right now that you are always advised to attach your LinkedIn URL on your CV. So when you are sending your CV, you want to ensure you have your LinkedIn URL, because recruiters will go on your LinkedIn to see if you are really the person you say you are. So your LinkedIn has to be well optimized, and we'll take you through all of that. Then we have navigating the job market. For some of us, you just migrated, you just moved to the UK, or you just moved to Poland, you just moved to Australia. You really don't understand the job climb. You don't understand what it takes to succeed in that particular environment. So what we do is that we bring recruiters, people that employ people. These are people you send your CV to. We bring them on a session, and then they tell you everything that they look out for in CVs. So we bring recruiters from Canada, we bring recruiters from the US, we bring in recruiters from the UK. They join the sessions, they tell you everything that you need to do to succeed, things that they look out for, not just the red flags, but also the green flags, because we don't talk about the green flags as often as we should. So they tell you things they look at for in a CV. Because if you don't know, a recruiter takes a look at a CV an average of 2 to 6 seconds. So if you think a recruiter spends 5 minutes taking a look at a CV, you're dreaming. Maximum 6 seconds is the time a recruiter takes to take a look at your CV. I know that for certain, because I know the amount of time I take to take a look at certain CVs. So you want to ensure their CVs are highlighting those key points, things the recruiters are looking out for. So they'll tell you what you need to do so you eventually end up succeeding. If maybe you need to apply to jobs by 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., whatever the time may be, on a certain job boards you should be looking out for. Then, of course, interview preparation. You've gotten an interview. We don't just end there. You can go ahead to schedule a one-on-one interview prep session with a professional that will take you through everything you need to know, from how you can from how you can answer questions about yourself, to how you can answer questions about your experience, to how you can answer technical questions, to everything that you're going to have be asked to salary negotiation, to ensure that you don't just get the interview, that your feet don't just get into the door, but that your entire being is thrown into that organization. Because again, what we are concerned about is you getting a job. So that's something that you also get. And of course, the job reference letter. We understand that recruiters want you to provide a reference letter. They want you to have they want you to provide some sort of a guarantor, somewhat, that would say, yes, I've worked with Jacinta. Jacinta is a fantastic individual. She's a great professional, and she'll be a great addition to your team. As long as you're an alumnus or participant with analytics, you are sure of getting a reference letter when the time arises. Okay. And of course, we also have on the job support. You've gotten the job, you need help. You can reach out to us and we'll provide you with everything you need. We'll tell you what you need to do. Okay, be given this task, just do this, do this, do this. So you go back to work, so you do amazingly well. So we also provide you with on-the-job support. Okay, weekly mentorship is something you also get. Mentorship is very, very important. I get so many requests for mentorship. Oh, Aisha, can you mentor me? Can you mentor me? And I totally understand, because mentorship is very, very important. With mentorship, a goal you are supposed to achieve in 3 months, you can achieve that in 2 weeks, because the mentor is a professional that has been able to succeed where you're looking to succeed. So they will tell you things that you should do, things that they have done that help them to succeed. So you get to do those things, and so you succeed. And things you should avoid, so your success is not delayed. So every week in, week out, you are mentored by the best in the organization, where they tell you this is what you need to do, this is the new way to apply to jobs. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you, okay, you've been applying, you've not gotten called, don't worry, you'll be fine. And you get all of that weekly. If you're interested in freelancing, you want to freelance, you want to work 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. and call it a day, okay? Upwork is a great platform for you. And that's why you also have the Upwork optimization sessions where you join in, you learn about Upwork, you get to learn how you can write outstanding proposals, how you can ensure that clients view your proposals, the appropriate way to send connects, how you can have an outstanding um, um, how you can have an outstanding profile, all of that to ensure that you are a successful freelancer. So all of those things are things that all of these are things that you excuse me, sorry. So all of these things are things that will position you for success. Of course, you're getting the skills. This other 50% will ensure that you are seen. And I mentioned the analytics elements earlier. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is just a screenshot. I'm going to show you what that looks like quickly. Okay, so let's take a look at the analytics elements together. Because like I mentioned, it's a dual learning process. Okay, it's a dual learning process. So you're learning in class and you're also learning with the LMS. Okay, yeah. So this is the Analytics LMS, and there are a lot of features, so many features for you. Of course, you have Oluko. Remember, I talked about Oluko being the Analytics AI trainer. So you have the chance to speak with Oluko. Oluko can do fantastic things. Oluko is currently asking for my name, so I can go ahead and say, okay, my name is Isusa, and then let's test it out. So what's my name? I'm Isusa. Okay, so my name is Aisha. It says, hello, Aisha. My name is Oluko, which stands for teacher. Okay, so what questions do you have? Oluko has been integrated with the Analytics curriculum. So if you have questions relating to, career related questions, since you need to do to succeed, or you have questions relating to the course content, or you have questions relating to a code base, so maybe you're writing a string of code, Python code, an Excel code, whatever question you have, you can send it in, or you want Oluko to also prepare you for an interview. So let's say I have a code-based issue. I can click on this and Oluko says, okay, please drop your concerns below. It's asking me to drop the code. So once I have my code, I can go ahead and type that in here, paste that in, and send to Oluko for Oluko to review and tell me what I need to do to fix my code. So Oluko is a fantastic professional. That's a professional, a fantastic AI. You can ask Oluko any question. And if you're the kind of person that feel, oh, you know what? I don't want to speak with AI. I would prefer speaking with an individual. There's no problem because you have a fantastic community. In that community, you have the data associates, you have the senior data associates, you have the trainers, you have the facilitators, you have all of these amazing individuals that will take you through everything you need to know, that you can ask questions. Maybe you're having a code-based issue, you can speak to them and you jump on the session and they help answer all of your questions and treat any issues you have. So if you prefer speaking with AI, no problem. You prefer speaking with people, absolutely no problem. Okay, and there are several features. Over here, you can see you have the interview prep, like I mentioned earlier, where you can go ahead to schedule an appointment. So you insert your name, you insert your program, and you upload your CV. And then after that, you can go ahead to select an instructor. Okay, so let's say I have, so let's say, okay, I'm at the interview stage. Let's say I'm at the first level of the interview. And then let's say I'm in business analysis. So let's say I'm in business analysis. I'll select business analysis. So over here, I'll post my job link, the link to the job post. And then I would also post the job description, then the interview date. Let's say the interview is going to be tomorrow. Then I would upload my CV. Okay, so that's a CV I used in applying for that job. So we also take a look at it and think of potential questions. So once I do that, I click on next, and there are several people that I can go ahead to, ask book for. There are several people I can go ahead to schedule an interview with. So I can schedule an interview with Olisa, with Oluwaseun, fantastic professionals, okay? And this is the situation for every other program. So I go ahead to schedule a session. So I select the professional I would like to speak with, and then a calendar pops up for me to choose the time I will be available so we get to meet. And of course, you can also request for a reference letter. Like I said, you can request for a reference letter for reference details. Over here, you have a leaderboard, which is a fantastic one. So the leaderboard is a way to make learning fun. So you see how you fare among your peers, just to make learning more fun and exciting. So you can see, oh, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where the other person is at. So as you watch your videos, you complete activities, you earn points, and all of those points are also added to your leaderboard. And then over here, you have your stats. Okay, you have your stats for you to see your streaks, and then your badges end, where for every assessment you take, for every assessment you complete, you get to earn a badge. And this is a badge that you can share on social media, because we are very, very big on building in public. You want people to know what you can do so they can bring opportunities your way. So yeah, and so taking a look at the courses. So over here you have the different courses. So for the business analysis course, so for the business analysis course, this will be assigned to you if you go ahead to register for the business analysis program. And then over here you see you have all of the different weeks. So you have week 0, which contains your installation, your portfolio creation, and then you have your week 1 where you start getting into Excel. Remember, you get that flavor of Excel. So you have your week 1 where you have your introduction to Excel, your week 2, all of those different videos in the different modules. So you select any video of your choice. So let's say I want to watch this video, or currently I'm at this video, because you watch one at a time, and then I can come over here and I'll play. So just wait for this to load. Yeah, so I don't think I'm sharing audio. So let me try sharing audio. Let me share sound. Okay, yeah. So this is
all right. This time around, we're going to be looking at condition. Select from the drop down. So I want a green. Oh, I want a
okay.
white.
So yeah, so this is Efemina Ipro. Efemina is a fantastic professional, as the co-founder of Analytics. And over here, you can see it's taking you through everything that you need to know on Excel. I am not just watching. That's the beautiful thing about this. You are not just watching, you're actually watching and practicing alongside. Okay, so you're practicing alongside, because you can
Do you understand?
okay, so you're
So
practicing
this is
alongside.
what we
I'll just
call.
pause this. Okay, yeah. So you're practicing alongside, because over here you can download the course materials and then practice. And once you're done with that, you go ahead to take an assessment. So once you take an assessment, just to know if you understood everything that was taught, you take that assessment and then you earn a badge. So that you have Excel, Power BI, SQL. Then you move into your introduction to business analysis, your project initiation planning, your project initiation, your business case, all of those things. So this is the way you learn. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. There's so many features in the elements that I might not be able to go through now. That's in its entirety. So that's the elements. And of course, you also have the live classes, like I said. So you have the Analytics LMS, and you also have the live classes. So you are learning using an hybrid format. So what do you need to do to be a part of the next cohorts? Because we have another cohort starting on the 5th of April. We have a cohort starting every month, and we have another cohort starting on the 5th of April. What do you need to do? You need to go ahead to register. And how can you you need to go ahead to register. And how can you register? Fantastic, by registering. The amount to register for the business analysis program for the 8 months plan is $900. And the great thing right now, remember I talked about the fact that it's actually IWD, which is the International Women's Day. And due to the International Women's Day celebration, that's for this month, we are giving 50% discounts to the first 700 women to register and the first 50 men. The first 700 women to register and the first 50 men. I'm sure you are all aware that last month, for those of us that, okay, you probably are not new to 1016, last month, the fee was actually $900 and not 450. I'm sure you're very much aware. But due to the IWD, and this discount is only going to be for this month. From next month, the price will be returned back to normal. Due to the IWD, you get to pay 50% less. This is just one way of, celebrating the amazing women that we have out there, absolutely doing fantastic things, even in tech. So you get to pay $450 instead. And again, you have 700 women and 50 men. So the men are not left out, okay? So you can get ahead and go ahead to register as quickly as possible. And how you can make payments, my colleague has sent in the payment link to the chat box. So once you click on that link, it's going to bring you over to the Analytics Enrolment Center. There are two ways you can make payments. You can either make payments via the Analytics website. Okay, you can make payments via the Analytics website, or you can make payments via the Enrolment Center. So once you click on that link, it's going to bring you over to the Analytics Enrolment Center. And over here, there are several things you can do. Or first of all, you can go ahead to chat with us. Maybe you're having an issue with payment. So you can just click on chat with Analytics, and there's someone at the back end that will respond to your questions and help you out with everything you need to know. And then over here, you can get access to all our program brochures for maybe you want to understand what every other program entails. So you can click on this and it'll take you to all our program brochures. And you can see the scholarship is currently still on. And the reason why we have the Women Tech Scholarship only for this month. So in case if you're wondering, okay, I just what about if I want to register in April? No, the scholarship is going to be over then. Okay, but you can register now and defer for 1 month though, in case if you're wondering. So yeah, so we have that. So once you want to make payment, all you need to do is you come over to this point, and then you go ahead to click on secure your discount slots. So you click on secure your discount slot, and what this will do is that it's going to open the payment page. Okay, so it's going to open the payments page, and just give me a moment. So I just want to take you through how to make payments real quick. Okay, there seems to be some sort of a delay. Anyways, to open the payments page, and over here by the right, you will see, okay, great. So over here, you can see we have 25 seats available. So slots are filling fast. Slots are filling fast. You want to jump on this as quickly as possible. This 25 seats is talking about a discount. So as soon as the number is filled, it's going to revert back to the original price. So over here, you can see you can make a one-time payment, or you can break this down into two monthly installments or 2 monthly installments. If you want to pay monthly for 3 months, you get to pay $150 every month for 3 months, or you can make a one-time payment of $450, or break this down into 2 monthly installments of $225 each. Maybe you're wondering, okay, I should say I'm not in the US, I'm actually in the UK. How can I pay in dollars when I use pounds? There's no problem. So once you click on that link and you come over to this page, it will take note of your location. So if you're in the UK, this is going to be automatically converted to pounds. So you would see your payment in pounds. If you are in India, you'd see this in rupees. If you are in Canada, you see this in Canadian dollars. Okay, so you don't need to worry. So when you're making payments, you don't need to go get a dollar card or anything. Just make payments. Just come over here. It will take note of your local currency. So if you're in Ghana, this is going to be in cedis. So once you come over here, you select the tranche you want to go with. So let's say you want to break this down into multiple installments. You click on the 2 monthly installment, and then you go ahead. Okay, so you click on monthly installment and you go ahead to click on secure your seat. So after clicking on secure your seat, you see you have, if you make payments today, you make $150 today, and then the next payment will come in on the 20th of April. The 20th of April, and the third payment will come in on the 20th of May. So once you click on proceed, the payment platform will pop up where you insert your payment details, and as soon as you make payment, your receipt will be sent via email, and attached to that receipt will be a link for you to complete your registration. So you click on that link, you fill in the details, you upload your receipt, and then you click on submit. Then you get an email from us confirming your payments with everything you need to be a part of the program. Your welcome kit that contains the link to join the community, the LMS, all of that. So you can also come over to the Enrollment Center and click on upload your receipt here. So upload your receipt depending on any way that you're looking to go. So yeah, that's how you go ahead. That's how you register. Again, this is just for the first the discount is for the first 700 women and the first 50 men to register. So you want to ensure that you get into that as quickly as possible. And there's so many people who've been able to help, close to 2,000 individuals that we've been able to help. We could have their testimonials all day. Okay, so please be a part of of this, and go ahead to register. Very, very important, because I'm sure that you have been looking to get into tech. This is the opportunity that you've been craving for. We get a lot of comments. Oh, please, can we get a discount? Can we get this? So this is the perfect time to get into this, because from next month, of course, we're reverting back to the original. So I hope you had an amazing time. I hope you had a great time. If you know you have a question for me, you can send your question or to the chat box. So if you have a question, just send your question to the chat box and I would respond. So if you have a question for me, you can send a question or you can use the raise hand icon and I will respond. But I'm sure we had a great time. I'm sure we had a great time. We understood what business analysis is. So just give me a comment if you know you had a great time, okay? Saying ice cream to the chat box. I love ice cream, okay? Not that I don't take ice cream often. But anyways, if you have a question, please let me know. If you have a question, you can just send your questions in the chat box. I might not be able to take all questions now, or maybe if you don't have a question now, you can be a part of the clarity session. We have clarity sessions every day. That's how we can help you get a job. And all you need to do is speak with the admin in the community. So just speak with the admin and ask for a link to book a session with a professional, to that one-on-one session where you get to ask any and every question. So we have sessions from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. to 3 p.m. to, there's a session for every time. So if you have a question that probably you can't ask now, you can just click on that link and go ahead to book a session. Okay, so thank you everyone. It seems we were great, which is absolutely fantastic. I had an amazing time and I believe that you did as well. Please ensure you register as quickly as possible, because something that we tell our kids. Okay, so please ensure you register as quickly as possible. Okay, yeah, so sorry about that glitch, everyone. So yeah, so we were already at the end of the session. So sorry about that glitch, everyone. I was just saying, please ensure you register as quickly as possible, because there's something we tell our kids every time, which I would like to tell you as well. And that is, quick says the clock. Whatever you have to do ensure you do quick. I'll see you guys some other time. Cheers for now.